Hey folks, welcome to the Contrarian Trader. This is Bob Desmond. I hope everybody had a great Christmas and a fantastic Hanukkah, and I look forward to have a great 2015 with you. Let's begin with the focus stock this week is going to be 3D Systems. DDD, the symbol. Before I go over that chart, we're going to re-review quickly Facebook, which I did 2 weeks ago, as well as Bank of America, which I did last week. But before I go on to the charts, please, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. If you have a question, leave a comment below. If you are watching this on Stock Twitch or Twitter, please follow me on either one of those services. And if you're watching this on the website, please enter your email address. We hate spam too. You'll get these videos in the future right to your email inbox. And let's get on to the charts. Okay, the first stock up is going to be BAC, Bank of America, weekly chart. I reviewed this stock last week, and I mentioned at that point in time that we had a breakout situation on our hand, and last week we finally broke out of this long-term uptrend channel. This resistance at 1791 had acted as resistance for quite some time, and now we had a successful close above that resistance level. Now keep in mind that last week was an abbreviated week. Volume was very, very light. We'll need to see whether or not we get a confirmation follow through, and one would hope that that's going to be a breakout or a continuation move higher on rising volume, because you need institutional participation to keep a stock like this moving higher. I think that we have seen the lows in interest rates that will benefit the banks, so I think this sector is poised to take a lead. RSI is moving higher, trending higher. No confirmation of the breakout just yet on RSI. That would always be nice to see. The RSI is a leading indicator, and we don't have that confirmation breakout just yet, so there's a caveat for you on the table. Okay, the next stock up is Facebook. Facebook had been in the consolidation range for quite some time, and I had mentioned on my video from 2 weeks ago that we were very, very close to a breakout on Facebook, and we successfully did that the week of the 15th. A bullish key reversal, as noted by the long wick, showing that there is clear support at 74.09. So the odds favored bulls moving forward. And last week we had a continuation breakout, albeit on very, very light volume. Again, it was an abbreviated week. And what we want to see now is one of two things, because one thing concerns me about Facebook is that you have a little bit of topping action. We want to see whether or not it pulls back and consolidates against what was resistance, should now act as support, or two, do we have a continuation breakout on rising up volume? Very, very important. So one of those two scenarios should play out, both of which are bullish. The last thing you do want to see, though, is a rollover and a close back down within this trading range, because that would be a breakout point failure, and at a bare minimum we would come back down and retest the lower band of that range, and quite possibly if the market begins to roll over we could break that range. But as it stands right now, I remain somewhat bullish on Facebook. Odds definitely favor bulls on Facebook and on BAC, certainly not shorts. So let's get on to 3D Systems. Okay, let's begin with a weekly chart of 3D Systems. And the reason why I begin with a weekly chart is because with my style of technical analysis, I always emphasize the use of multi-period charts. Why? Why is it so important when you're conducting your technical analysis of an individual stock, a sector, an index, whatever it may be? It's important because you always want to identify where your historic support levels are, because that is where your best risk-reward entry points are. So taking a look at a 10,000-foot view, which is the weekly chart, you could see that 3D Systems had a horrible year of 2014. You had a head and shoulders setup, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Here's your neckline, and we had the break of the neckline back in September of 2014, and just a brutal back half of 2014. The week of December the 8th, we flashed a bottoming tail or a bullish key reversal off of key support last seen back in March of 2013. Again, this is the value of your multi-period charts. Last week, we had a very, very good week. We broke back above a prior support level. Now, I want to keep this video brief. But there are some obstacles here with 3D systems, some resistance levels, and one major concern is the rapid decline of the 50-period moving average as it approaches the 200-period moving average. It may be nothing right now, but you could have a negative divergence sometime in the future. Nothing to be concerned about just yet for a short-term trade. So I'll be discussing the obstacles I see with members on the Focus Stock Analysis video, which will be going out on Sunday. Members, stay tuned for that. Also, members have already sent out the Market Pulse Check, which is where I review the overall health of the stock market, the major indexes, and the bond market as well. The stochastics on 3D systems looking very, very good, looping up. The other chart I want to discuss is the daily chart, and I will discuss in great detail what I'm seeing on this chart and why I'm so bullish on 3D systems in the short term anyway. And despite the fact that I'm saying that I'm bullish on 3D systems, that does not mean that I am opening up a trade on Monday. And if I do open up a trade on Monday, it certainly does not mean I am going to open up my full position all at one time. This is a stock that's been weak. It can easily roll back over and continue to behave weak. So we want to use the daily chart as our guide. Short term, use the weekly chart as our guide. Longer term, as I mentioned, there are some obstacles on the weekly chart that I see, and there are some hurdles on the daily chart that I'm looking for 3D systems to overcome before I decide to build a large position. Now, on Friday, we'll leave off with this. We did have a good accumulation day, and that was on a day which traditionally one of the lightest volume days of the year. So we do have some institutional interest. And I'll leave off with the fact that I am somewhat bullish on 3D systems as a near-term trade anyway, and possibly for a longer intermediate-term trade. And again, folks, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. If you're watching this on my website, enter your email address. We hate spam too. You will not be spammed, and you'll get these videos to your inbox. If you're watching this on StockTwits or Twitter, please follow me. And to everybody, have a great New Year's, and I look forward to working with you in the coming year. We had a great 2014. We look forward to an even better 2015. Be well.